My name is Lemon. I'm the owner of Python Discord, and this is the Python Discord Hot Ones special. This is not the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. That one you can find in the description. That's an excellent show. We love you, Sean Evans. This is just a tribute. One of our generous partners, Adafruit, gifted us a bunch of things that we could use to build something cool for this video. So we've built this button. We call it the spicy button. The idea is that whenever things are uncomfortably hot, we're going to hit this button.
It's really hot!
And it's going to play a sound effect from a Hot Ones episode, a movie, or a piece of music. Alright, let's start off with the first wing of the night.
And that's
Ancho and Morita.
Oh yeah,
Which is sort of a slightly spicy barbecue sauce type of deal.
sure.
There you go.
Do we tap it?
We tap it?
Oh yeah, excellent.
Okay. We're going to be answering some questions from the community while we do this. How did you get started with programming?
Oh, I got my first computer. Summer vacation before I started my 7th grade at school.
So how old were you then, for people who don't have the same grade system as us?
I'm only guessing from memory now.
12?
12?
12-ish? Yeah.
12,
Okay.
I think.
First computer at 12.
Yeah.
What kind of computer was it?
This was a 386 SX 33 megahertz.
Nice. That was my first computer too.
With
Almost the
2
same thing.
megabytes of RAM.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I got it and I asked a friend of mine what I could do with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can play games, but I didn't have enough memory to play games. So I could play like Commander Keen, I think I remember. And then I found out that you could write your own startup scripts with batch programming.
Mm-hmm.
And then a colleague of my father gave me a book about Pascal. Borland Turbo Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the shit.
That's when it sort of clicked for you.
Yeah. It made sense because then you actually wrote programs instead of juggling machine language.
Yeah, exactly. There was a level of abstraction that made it possible to wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
I got my first computer when I was 6 from my grandpa. He was a really cool guy. He was into electronics. He did programming, and this was like in the early 90s. He was a huge fan of learning on his own. So am I. He left me this legacy, basically. Like, following in his footsteps was sort of important to me in a sense that I really wanted to do that kind of stuff. So my fiance bought me a book that was like a 120-page intro to C++, almost as a joke. She's like, you're into computers, you'll like this book, it's about computers. I read it because I brought it on a plane with me, and I read it while I was flying. I just finally, for the first time, realized that maybe programming wasn't that hard. Maybe it was something that I could learn. Because I always thought it was just pure, assembly, moving bytes around in the matrix or whatever. But then I read this book, and it's so clean and organized. It's just logics. And then when I found Python, I fell in love because it had everything that I wanted in the language I wanted. I wanted a language that was expressive and easy to read and read almost like an English sentence. And I found all of that there. I love this one. They're still not very hot. This is fine. The community asks, what's the hottest thing you've ever eaten?
In spice, that's piri piri. I'm not sure this what scale it is. I've read that it's about 55k. And I ate the dried version of it. So maybe it's hotter or maybe it's not so hot. I have no idea.
Right.
And that's around here, I think.
Yeah, that's like sauce 6 or 7 for us, I think. For me, I went to this place called Burrito Project. It's in Oslo, and they have I think 5 different spice levels for their burritos. I don't know how hot this was, but the spice levels were like fresco, medium, spicy, really spicy, and then the last one just said experimental. Try at your own risk. So I was like, yeah, give me one of those. I'll take the experimental one. The guy just looks at me like, are you sure? I couldn't speak for like half an hour. It was like a religious experience. I just sat there like, oh, it's unbelievably hot.
Cool.
I remember you telling me that when you were in the military, you were exposed to pepper spray. Is that right?
Oh yeah. I have riot control education from the army, and to be allowed to spray pepper spray at other people, you have to be sprayed pepper spray on yourself.
Aha.
Oh yeah. So they lined up all the guys. They sprayed pepper spray on the top, on the forehead, like a spray.
Okay.
Then you were told to tilt your head back, and then they poured some drops of water.
Oh, so it would run down.
So it would run down. I have a large brow, so I felt it there for the longest time ever, and then it hit the eye.
Oh no!
And it was excruciating painful. It was insane, and that's our military grade pepper spray. I don't know the strength because I didn't know there was a thing called Scoville scale.
I've heard 10 million-ish.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's significantly more than is in even the hottest sauce we've got here.
I had to use it live in the army.
Right.
And it was inside a hangar, an airport hangar.
Okay.
And we sprayed it once, and afterward you had to evacuate the entire hangar because you couldn't go inside because your eyes would water up. Yeah,
I understand.
And that was one spray in the open air.
It's kind of fascinating that the same compound, the same substance that's in this sauce is what makes pepper spray so effective.
Yeah.
The capsaicin, the thing that makes everything spicy. And I don't know if this is true, but someone told me once that the spiciness, the feeling you get when something is spicy is just a purely neurological, like your brain responding to an input to a receptor.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
And for instance, birds, they don't have that. Only mammals can feel spicy food because they have teeth to grind seeds.
Sure.
And so nature is like, oh, we got to protect ourselves against these guys because they're going to crush all the seeds when they eat it.
Yeah.
But the birds don't have teeth, so they would swallow the seeds and then poop them back out, and they would still grow into plants. It makes you wonder, though, if you could somehow turn off those capsaicin receptors, if you could just eat as much spicy food as you wanted and it all tastes like bell pepper.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be pretty interesting.
It's really tasty.
Has this really Mexican flavor with
yeah,
lime. And for this wing, we're supposed to show off our tattoos and explain how we got them and what they're for.
Cool. Should I start?
Sure, you can start.
So, this is my current work of a sleeve. It's a Star Wars inspired idea where I want to have my entire arm covered in Star Wars characters.
Okay, and which character is this?
This is the most awesome one. It's Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Thrawn.
Yeah.
And he's a expanded universe character, is that correct?
And but it's also now in Rebels Season 3.
So he's become canon.
He's been canonized.
Grandfathered into the canon.
Yes. Just because he's such an iconic character.
Cool.
I have a twin brother, and he wanted star signs.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So and I was okay with it, but I regret it deeply because I don't like pain. So this was
so it was
really
very painful.
I didn't like it at all. I have an ambigram, I think it's called.
An ambigram.
So
it looks like a Boolean.
Oh yes, it's actually. So what do you read now?
I read false.
Yeah, and now you read.
Oh, True.
Yes.
Ah, that's so smart. I love it.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
last
very
one
clever.
I have is the local cinema. This is free cinema for life. I won a competition.
Do you want a contest?
Yes.
And what was the contest?
It was who wants to tattoo our logo on your body?
That's all you had to do.
Yeah, because the cinema owner thought that maybe only 10 people wanted the logo on their body.
Yeah.
So 4,000 people signed up for this,
Wow.
and they picked 2 winners.
You and one other guy have free
A
cinema
girl.
for life?
A girl.
A girl, okay.
Yeah. So the original one was for 4 years.
Uh-huh.
And I do some work at the cinema. I do some programming for the event called the Sci-Fi Festival.
Oh, cool.
So I added it's a Norwegian word called frikort,
Yeah.
and it means that you are
Like a free pass.
Free pass, yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty unique tattoo.
Yeah.
Do you use it a lot? Do you go to the cinema a lot?
I see all movies that come out. I see on cinema.
Huh.
So I see around 50 movies a year.
That's crazy. Crazy amount. I only have the one tattoo. This one, which is the beard fist icon. That was my first. It was a group that I still belong to. We made music. We released other people's music as a publisher. We made Unity games together. We wrote Python code. I wrote my first big script with Lord Inver, who used to hang out a lot at Python Discord as well. He's the drummer in Beardfist.
Cool.
We've got 2 albums on Spotify. So it's like it was the first big project that I did in my life, and I wanted to commemorate that put it on my skin forever.
Yeah.
I am planning maybe to actually get a Python or even a Python Discord related tattoo. It's really carroty. It's still pretty good though.
Oh yes.
I'm not offended by any of these so far. So, what's the hottest Python library?
Oh.
Or you can mention a couple if you prefer.
Okay. I love the standard library. So let me. So my favorite other library must be Network X.
Network X.
Yeah.
Cool. So why?
Have you ever thought about working with graph and graph theory and thinking, should I write it myself? Network X is really well written. It's really well documented, and it makes all this. You can make all the network graphs and everything so much quicker than you could ever manage to do on your own.
Right.
And when you write the network and graph code, it looks Pythonic.
Yeah.
The main problem, in my experience with working with graphs, you never get them to look Pythonic, and I really like that.
Yeah. For the sake of beautiful code, anything written by Kenneth Reitz is usually pretty good. He writes really elegant
requests.
libraries. Requests is nice. Requests HTML is a nice alternative for scraping.
Oh yeah.
It can fetch things even though they're generated by a JavaScript, which is something that you will have trouble with if you use anything else, basically. So sometimes you have content on the site is generated by JavaScript after the site is loaded.
Oh yeah.
He's also got this Pi theory thing, which is like a music theory project.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really interesting. You can use it to generate chords. I also really love Django because it has the best documentation I've ever seen in any language, any framework. It's not only does it explain how everything works,
Yeah.
but it goes much further than that. It teaches you stuff. It wants you to learn best practices. It shows you example implementations. It links to other sources.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a rabbit hole. You start reading the Django docs and you could read all day.
Yeah.
You're going to learn so much. And I'm not used to that. Most docs are either just straightforward API documentation or they just, they're not really good enough.
So I guess we both have selected based on good documentation.
Documentation is key.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sauce on this wing, man. Remember, you don't have to eat the whole wing if you don't want to.
I'll keep that in mind.
What was the first real project you finished, like code-wise?
I made the login, not me and a friend made the login system for the local municipality when I was in primary school.
Mm-hmm.
So this was around 14 years old I was, and the system used Novell Network, I think it was called.
Okay. What was the first thing you wrote in Python?
That I finished in Python?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's was a SMS system to send out SMS.
Okay. So
So-
did you use Twilio or?
No, I wrote everything in myself.
But how did it use like an API somehow?
Yeah,
or?
I used the at work we have an API to send out SMSs.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just hijacked that,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
and it handles around 10,000 messages per second,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really, really badly written.
Yeah. That's usually the case with your first code ever,
Yeah.
right? My first was a IRC bot, and we should have used a framework. There were a couple of good frameworks, but the frameworks were more complicated than just like hacking something together off Stack Overflow. So we ended up just doing like pure sockets
Oh yeah.
and implementing the whole. Because when you call an IRC server, you have to send a ping every now and then to let it know that
Yeah.
you're alive, and you gotta introduce yourself and log into the server and stuff. And if you don't do that, it kicks you out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kick you out right away. It waits 10 minutes. So it's really like subtle. We did get it running, and it is so ugly. Back then I had no idea what PEP8 was or any linters or anything like that, so we just wrote the code. I remember I used to use a indentation to line up everything in the file was lined up even when it had no right to be lined up. But I remember the first thing I wrote for work was this super simple Flask thing that someone could use to send an email with. They'd fill out a form and click the thing, and it would send an email, and it would send it into a CRM system we used at work that would create a ticket.
Oh yeah.
And this super simple thing, it took me, a week or two because I was terrible at Python, but today I could have written it in a couple of hours, right?
Yeah.
And that simple tool was so effective. Before I implemented this tool, there was a guy who would sit and call all the on-site service personnel and just ask them, hey, how did it go when you went to the customer today? Then I introduced this thing, and I said, well, everyone can just add this as an app on their phones, like a shortcut to the browser. They can just fill it out after they've been to the customer themselves, and then just click send. It'll go straight into the CRM. Then we don't need him to call everyone. The problem was, turns out calling everyone was pretty much like 90% of his job description. So after a couple of months, they had to let him go because the tool that I wrote in a week did his job for him. What's it called?
It's called Assam.
Assam.
It's
It smells very Indian.
yes.
Oh, it's delicious, actually. I love this. That's my favorite so far.
There was a
Nice.
lot of sauce on mine.
Yeah. Are you having trouble?
Yeah, it's really hot.
Hit the button.
Are you okay? Because you're sweating pretty profusely.
Not yet. But,
So, how much time do you spend on Python Discord per day, and what makes it worth the investment?
okay, so I spend around 8 to 9 hours per day in the weekdays.
Yeah.
Weekends I drop by like in the evenings, but I spend most of my time in the help channels.
Yeah. But so that's like when you're at work or when you're at home, or
Yeah, it's both. But it's sometimes when I have it on a monitor at work, and I have it on a monitor when I'm home. So the thing that makes it really interesting to help out people is that it makes me a better programmer.
Yeah.
It has made my work, like my work skills, better. Just getting better at the small things makes it well worth it, and also I feel like I'm a better programmer.
No, but you probably are, because even though you feel like you've mastered a topic, you talk to a beginner about that topic, he will ask you a question that you didn't think of. And sometimes you have to look up what the answer is.
Yeah.
Or at least do a deep think and like, hey, well, actually, now that I think about it, why does it work like that?
Yeah.
You know, so they put it into a perspective that your brain just never did.
Yeah. If you can't explain it, then you don't know it.
Yeah. For me, I spend more or less every waking hour there.
Yeah.
But it's like not 100% focus all the time. I'm always present.
Yeah.
My phone's always running Discord. I get dozens of pings and direct messages every day from staff members, from users, from just about everyone. So it's a huge part of my life. Yeah. And weekends I spend even more time. That's when I have time to actually do something.
Yeah, sure.
I'll write code for the bot or the site, or do the staff meetings, arrange the events, and then we have the code jams. I always invest like all my time into the code jams because I really enjoy it. I love the events. But it takes a lot to keep the place running. Yeah. Like, I don't have to do everything myself, but I got to make sure someone does it.
Yeah, sure.
But for me, the value of it, I just feel like I need to, with my life, try to provide the thing that I never had.
Sure.
Like the fact that I was kept in the dark for so many years about how programming is something that I can do, that it is possible to learn it, that it's fun.
Yeah.
I want to share that joy with people who are out there who might not think that they can do it. And then they can come to us. We can tell them or teach them that, hey, you can learn programming. It isn't that hard, and we'll show you how. And by the end of a year of like active involvement with us, you should have made pull requests to Git. You understand, open source to a certain degree. You've written some real code. You've gotten your feet wet, and then you can go from there and you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do Python. You can move on to other languages, do projects, whatever. Yeah. But just the fact that I'm part of making that happen for people, it's just so valuable to me on like this deep level. I agree. Yeah. It makes my life better.
Yeah. That's strange. I don't feel. Oh, okay.
It's coming. Don't worry about it. Famous last words there.
Oh yeah. Touché.
Yeah, this one is starting to get pretty hot.
It's difficult to breathe.
Too spicy, too spicy.
I'm gonna.
This is hot.
That's hot.
That's hot. Let's move on. Electronics.
Yeah.
What's the coolest thing you've ever built?
It's a weather station.
A weather station?
Yeah.
Okay.
Collected information about temperature, humidity. Collected rain to see how much it has rained during the day.
Yeah.
And what I use it for. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, just don't worry about me.
I used it for showing me if it were going to rain.
Aha.
I hate the rain.
Aha.
So I added a blinking light on the weather station.
Yeah.
So if it was going to rain in the next 9 hours, it would blink when I went to work. So I just brought the umbrella.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you have to worry about, ironically, the weather itself murdering your device?
Oh, yeah.
Did you shield it from...
No, it broke twice or 2-3 times maybe. Like the wind would just... Because I had a wind sensor and it would max out, and when it maxed out, normally it broke.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it did break a bit.
Oh yeah.
But did you consider creating some sort of shield for it?
Oh yes, I did. But I think maybe I was too lazy.
Okay. Yeah, that's often the programmer's curse.
Yeah.
But you made a tablet from scratch?
Yeah,
Oh, why?
because I could.
Because you could. And
So-
it worked.
Well, yeah, it worked.
So what kind of components did you run with?
So I bought a 9-inch touch screen from Adafruit.
Mm-hmm.
It came along with some wiring and circuit boards to connect it to the Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
So I connected it to the Raspberry Pi. I 3D printed a case,
Uh-huh.
and so it was a Raspberry Pi 2,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really thick, really like slow.
Yeah.
But it worked.
I think for me, the most complicated project I've done, I'm pretty new to electronics.
Mhm.
I got started mostly because after we partnered with Adafruit, they were generous enough to send me some stuff.
Sure.
And they kind of wanted me to get to know CircuitPython,
Mhm.
which is this, it's a fork of MicroPython that they've done to make it even easier for people to get started writing embedded Python directly onto your microcontroller.
Yeah.
It's super cool. You just connect the controller to your computer by USB and it pops up like a drive.
Yeah.
You just put a Python file on it and you use the library that they give you, which can interact with all the inputs and outputs and sensors or whatever, and then it's very Pythonic and nice. It doesn't have everything that Python 3 has, because it runs a sort of slimmed down version of Python. So like the random library is there, but you don't get choice.
Yeah.
Right, stuff like that, right? Little compromises for the sake of the size, because you only got 2 megs of flash memory here, so
Yeah.
you got to think about stuff like that. But so I built this the box that you've got in front of you there. That one is probably the most complicated thing I've ever built. It was a little bit of soldering, some micro USB stuff. It was pretty small, and
Really nice button.
I love that button.
Very tactile.
I got that from Adafruit as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's got 32 sound effects that it randomly selects from, and they're all about spiciness or hotness, and then blinks a couple of lights, and it's nice. But I am working on a project at home where I'm sort of building an emulator system. I'm putting it into an old NES case.
Sure.
With a Raspberry as the brain for the thing. I'm trying to hook it up to the existing circuits for the on button and the reset button, so that it can control the Raspberry.
Cool.
Which is proving to be kind of tricky, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of is.
Yeah, but it'll work. I'll get it working. And then I want to spray paint it in a funky color, so it looks kind of like cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Just run RetroPie or something on it.
Yeah.
What's your project? What are you going to make next?
So I'm building an arcade cabinet.
Uh-huh.
So that's
Like a full-size one.
yeah, full size from ground to ceiling almost.
But are you buying the cabinet or are you making that too?
No, it's almost done. So it's
But like the woodworking part of it.
yeah.
You're doing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's next is the electronics, buttons and wiring,
Yeah.
and I have to install a computer.
Yeah.
And
So just a normal desktop machine inside the case.
yeah.
Oh.
I thought about doing Raspberry, but I find it a bit too slow for
Yeah.
everything. It's if you only want like the really old games, then it's okay. But for a large cabinet, I wanted more flexibility.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it will be an high speed.
In my experience, the Raspberry handles up to 16-bit perfectly. Maybe 32. But after that, it gets a little dodgy with the support. And it gets,
But that's thousands of games.
Oh, yeah. And probably some of the best ones.
Yeah,
Trust
I
me.
agree.
I'm a huge 16-bit fan.
Yeah, me too.
So this one is
Firewater.
Firewater. That
It's-
sounds promising.
It sounds hot. Okay,
Okay.
let's go for it.
There it is.
That's real.
Oh.
Didn't work.
Oh man, my fucking nostrils are hot.
Yeah.
God, it's hot here.
Oh. That's kind of painful. Oh, yeah, that's hot. Wow.
Fucking hell. Seriously.
So, I heard a rumor that you are a registered magician.
Yes, that's true.
That's true. Why? Where did that come from?
Well, I love magic my entire life.
Uh-huh.
So
When did you start learning magic?
I started learning about, I don't know, 10 years, 9 or 10 years.
Mhm.
And then I started seriously working on it during the university.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like practicing for hours every day.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So,
that's really hot.
So how do you become a magician? What's the process?
You need to go through an interview and an audition.
Okay.
And that's
With who?
with the magic circle.
With the magic. That's such a cool name.
Yeah.
The Magic Circle. So you
Yeah.
went and auditioned for the Magic Circle,
Yes.
and they let you in.
Yeah, they said there were 3 judges, and the most difficult audience to do magic for are children
Yeah.
and magicians.
Yeah. I can imagine.
So I was terrified, but the one of the higher echelons of the magic community said
Yeah.
that it was the best audition they have ever seen so far.
Wow.
So it
That's
was
pretty good.
It went really well.
Do you what kind of a trick was it? Was it a card trick?
Yeah, I only do card tricks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show me a trick.
Let's show you a trick. Point at any card.
This one.
This one. Take it out. We will use this one. Show it to me. Show the camera.
It's a 4 of clubs.
Yeah, I'll take it.
The focus isn't. but
Yeah,
it's
that's okay. So, do you agree if I were able to get your card between the 2 jokers,
Uh-huh.
that would be impressive?
Sure.
Cool.
Depending on where the jokers were.
Yeah, you're gonna keep a track on the jokers. Okay?
I'll hold the jokers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start by losing your card in the deck, and we can give it a quick shuffle, just so we. This is not the trick where the card is magically comes to the top, like so it's. We can do that another time.
Yeah.
If you have you checked the jokers? There are no strange.
The jokers seem fine to me.
Sure. If you give it to me, I will show you the trick, and you can show this to your son. You do it like this, and you do it like this.
Now the card is between the jokers.
Yes.
Ah.
I'm guessing that's not what you
That's
thought,
It's not quite what I had in mind.
but it's exactly what
It
I
is.
said.
It is true.
But you don't feel impressed.
I'm not impressed.
You're not impressed.
Not impressed.
Okay, so what would impress you is to have only one card between the jokers,
Exactly.
and that being the 4 of clubs.
That being the 4 of clubs.
How much time would impress you? Like if I do it blindfolded with my eyes closed in 10 seconds, that would be impress you?
Sure. That would be pretty good.
Yeah, so if you count down from 10,
Okay.
I will close my eyes.
10, 9, 8,
I will try to
7,
do
6,
this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh,
Do you see a card?
I see it.
Let's.
Oh, haha, it's the 4 of clubs.
Magic.
Magic. That's impressive. I am impressed. Up until now, these have been okay. But this, at 600k or whatever, that's where it gets serious. We'll see. You don't fuck with 600k. That's a lot of Scovilles. Ex Horesco. Well, Jesus. How is that one?
It's really hot.
Is it?
Yeah. It's really hot.
A bit uncomfortable there.
Alright.
Oh, I can feel it in my throat, so it's stuck in my throat.
Yeah, it's the. I feel like I want to cough.
Yeah, exactly. But it
All the
doesn't
time.
help. It doesn't do anything. Okay. You have a kid.
Yeah,
How old is your kid?
it's 10.
He's 10.
Yeah.
I also have a kid. Mine is 2. And so, from father to father,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how do you feel that technology and programming, how does it factor into your parenting?
Yeah, so my whole house is technology.
Yeah.
I have a voice controlled every appliance in the living room, lights, TV, media center, cooking aid.
Yeah.
I have a smart door. I can open it remotely. I can open it with Python.
Sure.
I have a Google Home here, and I have Alexa upstairs.
How many assistants do you have?
I have 6.
6. Okay, so your house has pretty good coverage, huh?
Yeah, it's full coverage in the floor upstairs.
Yeah.
Here it's only in this room.
Okay.
And I try to encourage my son to learn programming, to learn IT in general. One of his friends at school made a game, and he was so proud, and my son was really interested to see what he did.
Mhm.
And when he came home that day, he was like, "I can make something better." And I had already bought him a book called Mission Python, and he enjoys it tremendously. So it's going well. It's way
That's excellent.
beyond these classmates.
I've had my plan sort of for getting my kid into programming, because I think all programmers at some point formulate a plan.
Yeah. We are problem
Exactly.
solvers.
It's a problem to solve. You have to think, how do I get my kid into programming, and then come up with a solution. So my solution is, he's already getting into games.
Yeah.
He's 2, so he can't really use game controllers because they're too big for his
Yeah.
little hands. But he plays on my phone. He borrows my phone and he plays Mario Run.
Yeah.
Where you just have to tap the screen in order to make Mario jump, and he runs automatically. He's really good at it.
Yeah.
So since he can't play the 3D Marios, they're too complicated.
Yeah.
He'll just like watch Let's Plays or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I didn't even show him. He found the YouTube app and he started.
That's
he's
kids these days.
I know. It's not like he searched for it, but it came up and he clicked it, and now he's just like Super Mario all the time.
Yeah, sure.
He loves Mario.
Yeah.
So my hope is that I can sort of nourish his love for games.
Yeah.
When my kid says, Daddy, I love games so much, I want to make games when I get older, then I'm going to say, why wait? Let's start.
Yeah.
Let's start right now.
Exactly.
You don't even have to write the code. I'll write the code for you. Let's just design the game together. Help me figure out how it works. And
That's more than half the work.
exactly, yeah. So I'll take one of his crazy, 3-year-old ideas or whatever,
Yeah.
or 5 or 6 or however old he is. At that age, you have like unlimited creativity.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Tap into a source nobody else has when they're adults. So I can take his ideas and he can draw some enemies.
Yeah.
And we'll make a game that he can show to everyone and be proud of.
Yeah.
And then from there, and try to get him into development, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, here we are at the last wing.
Yeah.
And as you know, it's tradition on the hot ones to put a little extra on the last wing.
Extra. They are already soaking.
I know. So we're supposed to have a tiny... You don't have to.
Yeah, sure. I'll join you.
That's enough of the tap. Whew. Yeah, like you said, these are already...
They are soaking.
I don't know, you may have put too much on it. But we will see.
How hot can it be?
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not so bad. It's more tingly than hot.
It's more tingly than hot.
I disagree.
That is hot.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I feel that.
Drop it like it's hot.
Wow.
Drop it like it's hot.
Oh, Jesus.
Drop it like it's hot.
You okay there?
No,
How are you feeling?
hot.
Describe the hotness.
It's difficult to think and also speak.
We've made it to the end of the gauntlet,
Oh yes.
and there's only one thing left to do, which is the community has challenged me to perform a song by Beardfist called Hot, and to do it while suffering under this last wing. So I will attempt to do this, though I make no guarantees. I'll be able to do it while feeling like this. Holy shit, this is hot.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
It wasn't that bad at first, but now it's just unbelievably hot. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of spice. Okay, I gotta try.
Before it gets worse.
Let's get started. Here we go. Okay. If you drive your car into the sun, it is hot, 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 hot. And if you set fire to your uncle, it is hot, 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 hot. And if you put a sausage in a bun, it is hot, 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 dog. And if you are on the run, it is hot, 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 hot. I'm so hot, I'm boiling up inside. I'm so hot that your skin dry. You should have had some sun lotion applied. It is hot, hot if you're being boiled alive. It is hot, 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 hot. And if into volcano you dive, it is hot, 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 hot. And if you wear a suit while playing live, it can be hot, 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 hot. And if a burning car for some reason you drive, it is hot, 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 hot. Oh, it's hot as hell. Oh, fuck, it's so hot. Are you okay?
I'm fucking hot.
And if you touch a light bulb that's been on, it is hot, 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 hot. And when the ozone layer is gone, it will be hot, 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 hot. And if you're being burned at the cross, that's probably hot, 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 hot. I've never tried. And if you eat a bunch of hot sauce, well, what is it?
It's bloody hot.
It's hot. I'm so hot I have to stay inside. I'm so hot it hurts your pride. I'm so hot I do not walk, I slide. I'm so hot that all the women cry. And I'm so hot that I can't be brushed aside. I'm as hot as the moon is wide. I'm so hot that the horses all died. No longer can the men ride high. God, it gets stuck in my throat. That was really hard.
Have some milk.
Milk. I need more milk.
Yeah, that was
hotter than I had thought it would be. I think I almost did that okay.
Yeah,
I think
you did really well.
that was passable performance. Jesus Christ. Oh, that milk is warm and it's gross, but it's still nice.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Okay. Well, that concludes the Python Discord Hot One special. Thanks for joining us for this adventure. Thanks to you, Ivan,
No problem.
doing it with me.
Just fun.
It's been fun.
It's been also.
Yeah, there we go. Can you believe the narcissism of putting myself on the box I made?
Yeah.
Let's do it. One more.
Oh man, even my fucking nostrils are hot.
Even my fucking nostrils are hot.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. Thanks for flying with us, as G-Dude would say, and have a pleasant evening.